Would you please rise for the invocation? Our Heavenly Father, we praise you as the King of heaven and earth. Lord Jesus, thank you for your so great salvation, which enables us to rest in the assurance not only of the pardon for sins, but also that you are the King of the universe, and in you all things hold together. And we know you as well, Lord Jesus, as the one who is able to bring joy into any occasion, even a graduation in the midst of a pandemic. And Holy Spirit, we pray you would descend on us in an unmistakable way to seal the love of the Father and the Son to our hearts. In Jesus' name. God's people said, Amen. Please be seated.
Hello. On behalf of the PDS class of 2020, I would like to be the first one to welcome you to our commencement exercises. We are finally here. While the end of our school year did not go as expected, I believe we would all say that we have grown in so many ways because of the challenging times we are in. We have grown closer to our families. We have learned in new and different ways. We have discovered the joy of playing outside with no schedule. And a few of us have improved our skills on Xbox and PlayStation. We are at the end of our PDS careers, which for some of us have lasted 9 years. We are sad to say goodbye to the teachers, the coaches, the buildings, and the fields, but we are excited about the new beginnings ahead of us. We have been given a great foundation from which to build upon. We've not only grown academically, but also spiritually, emotionally, socially, artistically, and athletically. Through these next few years, we will face many hard decisions and choices that could change our lives. As we go into these next years, we will be ending our boyhoods. Through these next years, we will face many hard decisions and choices that could change our lives. As we go into these next years, we will be ending our boyhoods and starting to grow not only as men, but also as servant leaders in this city. Our first hurdle will come this fall as we embark on our new schools. While it will be an exciting time, the uncertainty may cause us to worry. I know that this class of 2020 is going to face this and other challenges and meet them head on, because we have been well prepared by our families, our churches, and our school, PDS. As we go through these next years, we will have problems along the way, in classes, in athletics, and in everyday life. But if we stick together like we have here at PDS, if we stay true friends, leaving no man behind, there is no reason why we should be discouraged, and every reason why we should emerge as stronger young men and stronger leaders for the future. As we move forward, may we follow the two greatest commandments found in Matthew 20:20, to love the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, and mind, and to love our neighbors as ourselves. Thank you, and welcome again to our graduation. And now, turn your attention to the south end zone for a video tribute to the class of 2020.
Congratulations, PDS Class of 2020. You made it. Graduation is finally here. And in the midst of a global pandemic and remote learning, you were able to finish strong. Congratulations. And now as you leave PDS for your next adventure in life, I just always encourage you to remember our 7 virtues of manhood. Let these ideals lead your life, and let God into your life, as He wants nothing but the best for you. Congratulations.
So this is what you meant when you said that you would spend. And now it's time to build from the bottom of the pit right to the top. Don't hold back. Packing my bags and giving the academy a rain check. I don't ever want to let you down. I don't ever want to leave this town. Can you see it? A light shines into the darkness, bringing hope to the hopeless. It's leading you to life. This is the day when all your sins are washed away in the waves of His unending grace. Forever you're alive. This is the day when the lost are found. This is the day for a new beginning. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Oh, can you hear all the angels are singing? This is the day when life begins.
Good evening. If we've not yet, my name is Steve Hancock, and I've had the great privilege to serve this incredible school as headmaster for the past 6 years. In a few moments, I will address the class of 2020 and wish them well on their journey into middle school and beyond. Tonight, each boy will receive several items beyond his graduation certificate. As he exits the stage, each boy will receive a PDS bag that includes an alumni prayer, a Bible, a special book, and a tribute to each boy. There is even a brand new book penned by Howard Graham just for the parents. You will also find an envelope titled Letters for a Lifetime. I have penned 8 letters for each of you. Today, you will receive all of these letters that are to be opened over the next 50 years. There's a letter to be opened on your first day of 7th grade, one for a particularly bad day, for your 16th birthday, high school graduation, a death in the family, your wedding week, the time surrounding the adoption or birth of a child, and one for 50 years from today. As I signed each letter, I prayed for you by name and for the person you're about to become. Please know that wherever God takes you, PDS will always be here for you. From time to time, Presbyterian Day School confers a special Honorary Diploma to a true friend of the school. And this year, at our 71st commencement, we honor 2 amazing teachers who have collectively given 71 years to PDS. They embody what it means to be a lifelong learner, and even as they graduate from PDS, they continue to be at the top of their craft. Beth Diaz has been teaching at PDS for over 3 decades. She has devoted her life to our 1st and 2nd grade students. Boys entered her classroom to discover a world of reading and a teacher who loved books. Mrs. Diaz loved more than books because she truly loved each boy who entered her classroom. Boys were encouraged to fly the pig, and mystery readers became superheroes through Mrs. Diaz's encouragement. As a master gardener, Mrs. Diaz loved to bring the outdoors into her classroom. The annual Worm Depot found the entire school begging for worms. Professional development was a way of life for Mrs. Diaz, who embraced the concepts of Project Zero and helped her boys learn the process of thinking. This past year, she stepped into the role of librarian, once again filling a need for the school. Now, Mrs. Diaz can't be with us this evening, but she's watching online from her new home in Virginia. Would you please join me in congratulating Beth Diaz? "37 years ago, Jean Neighbors stepped into her first PDS classroom. Her love of the boys she teaches has not waned for one moment. Mrs. Neighbors is one of the most professional teachers I have ever known, and she has maintained her joy for teaching to the very end. Having taught history, science, and small group math, Mrs. Neighbors had the ability to attain expert status in every subject she taught. Her specialty was the sixth grade boy. And over 2,500 PDS boys have had the privilege of being in her classroom. In fact, over half of all the alumni of PDS have been taught by Mrs. Neighbors. Several years ago, Mrs. Neighbors started the online history program. She's been teaching online longer than just about anyone anywhere. Remote learning did not slow her down one bit. Finally, each year, as the father-son trip departed campus, she and Mrs. Gibson kissed Dennis Smith on the cheek, and they did that for decades. That fact alone deserves a special honor. Please join me in congratulating Jean Neighbors.
At this time, Board Chair John Alexander has a special presentation.
Thanks, Mark. Welcome, everyone. Just wanted to thank you for your love for PDS, for blessing us with letting us steward your boys. Over the last 6 years, we've had the pleasure of Steve Hancock being our headmaster. Last year, he told us that he needed to go home, and while we understand the call for home, we know we're going to miss him. These boys were in the first grade when Mr. Hancock came. Now they're about to go to 7th. His first sixth grade class is now about to go to college. Throughout that time, Mr. Hancock, you have loved us, you have loved these boys, and you have made them the boys that they are today. On behalf of the faculty and the staff, the alumni, and the parents here, we would like to give you an honorary diploma.
A wonderful tradition of the school is the annual speech contest. Not even COVID-19 could stop these boys from expressing themselves in this time-honored tradition. Every sixth grade student wrote, revised, and delivered a speech. This year, all of this was done online and with many, many takes. Finalists were chosen, and 2 independent judges chose our first place winner. Brady Earhart has been a leader in our school for years. He has excelled in many areas of school life and recently received the Headmaster's Award for Outstanding Achievement. Today, Brady will share a part of himself with you. Please welcome Brady Earhart to the podium.
Rocky Balboa once said, "The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit hard as life. But it ain't how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done." These words from Mr. Balboa have stayed with me ever since the first time I heard them. It is true that the world is a harsh place, and when you are presented with a challenge, you have to get up and keep moving. We all have our challenges, and I have many as well. One of my challenges that I will present to you today is that I have a speech impediment. There are many types of speech impediments, and I have one caused by some mucus cleft palate. I went through surgery to get it fixed, but it still presents me with challenges daily. Today, I will explain more about my speech impediment, discuss the ups and downs of having an impediment, and present 2 ways that has changed my life. First, I will explain why I have my impediment. I was born with something called a submucous cleft palate. A submucous cleft palate is created when an infant's palate, roof of their mouth, doesn't form correctly. Normally, tissue will go over the cleft palate, and it will remain there until the doctor finds it. Since tissue goes over it, it's difficult to diagnose. My submucous cleft palate was not diagnosed until I was 3.5, which made matters worse. After a year of fruitless speech therapy, we decided to get it fixed. I had surgery on my soft palate to fix this issue. Basically, my soft palate surgery was where people extract muscle tissue and transplant it to the back of the throat. This narrows the nasal opening so it becomes normal. I went through many processes to do the surgery, like nasopharyngoscopy. It is where someone inserts a tube up your nostril into your mouth to measure data. When the day came, I had my surgery. They placed a pharyngeal flap, muscle tissue, over some of my nasal opening, and I began recovery. The end of this story is now. I've been doing speech therapy for years, and it has been very beneficial. With the help of Darlene Winters, my speech therapist, I've been able to reach this goal. I'm not speaking perfectly, but I'm doing better than ever now. I've been able to say words that doctors thought I wouldn't have, and much more. Let's take, for example, chair or share. Overall, my palate needed corrective surgery, and with the great medical care and technology we have today, I was able to get it fixed. Secondly, there are many pros and cons from having a speech impediment. Having a speech impediment has multiple good sides, which might seem surprising. I received many compliments about my accent, which is nice. Not only that, but people think I'm from other countries, like England or Australia. Also, if I ever begin acting, I already have 2 accents down. On the other hand, there are bad parts to having a speech impediment. One that I normally run into is people not understanding what I'm saying. Right now, I'm talking a lot slower than I usually do. This is so the pronunciation of these words are clearer. Also, I've run into occasions where people make fun of me. I don't take those people seriously because they don't know what it's like. All in all, I've overcome these challenges by doing 2 things. First, I've participated in many verbal activities. An example is from the Christmas pageant this year. I decided that I wanted to be a scripture reader. I practiced for hours, and I felt like I was ready. I talked slowly, and it went fairly decent. Secondly, I've been doing speech therapy for years. My therapy has helped tremendously, strengthening muscles in my mouth. Even the smallest things, like saying, shh, was a struggle for me. With my speech therapy, I can now say that. Bottom line, there are many good and bad parts of having a speech impediment, but I've been able to conquer most challenges put in front of me. Lastly, my speech impediment has changed my life physically and emotionally. Physically speaking, the biggest thing is that I can talk. The doctors said I wouldn't be able to say much, but look where I am now. Some things were very monumental, which might seem trivial. One example is when I learned to say the sound ch. Many people don't realize the importance of being able to say that. The doctor said I couldn't, but I ended up being able to form the sound. Moreover, my speech impairment has also helped me emotionally. It has helped raise my self-esteem, and I feel more confident because I know what I've gone through and how many challenges I've overcome. In the end, my speech impairment does not define me. Rather, it has changed my life for the better. Overall, I've explained my speech impairment, presented the pros and cons of having a speech impediment, and discussed how it has changed my life, both physically and emotionally. Although many people may think that I hate my speech impediment, they obviously do not know me very well. Sure, it's not the best, but it's what makes me, me. I love myself, the good and the bad, and I'm not going to let this impediment beat me down. So today, I challenge you to embrace whatever makes you, you, the good and the bad. As Leo Buscaglia once said, to love others, you must first love yourself. Thank you.
Welcome parents, special friends, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, and class of 2020. We made it. After months of being apart, we have arrived on this day to celebrate the culmination of many years together at PDS. While our path to this moment has been unique and challenging, I am so thankful for this opportunity to gather as a community and honor this class. I came to PDS in 2014, the same year many of you entered first grade. Recently, I was cleaning up my desk and found a picture directory that I used when I first arrived to campus. There you were, with your goofy, smiling faces and freshly combed hair. I used this document to learn each of your names so I could greet you every morning. Looking back at these pictures, I was reminded of how much you have grown over the past 6 years. In many ways, this growth is what PDS is all about. There are two things you have heard me speak about over and over again: the PDS mission and the 7 virtues of manhood. I can't resist the opportunity to recap each of these important ideas and then add a third, albeit less profound, idea to the mix. Our mission has remained unchanged for over 70 years. At PDS, we strive to glorify God by developing boys in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man. A few moments ago, we honored 2 amazing teachers who have lived the mission of this school every day, as they wanted nothing more than watch you grow into a young man. In fact, the entire faculty works to make certain that everything you learn, from math facts to prepositions to foreign languages, all point to the incredible gifts we receive from God. We have encouraged you to see all the ways that God is at work in your lives. Now, this can be challenging when you're young, but we've seen incredible growth in this class. Your emotional intelligence, as well as your knowledge, has grown. You have learned to resolve problems with your friends and persevered through challenges of remote learning. You celebrated victories in sports and robotics and created music and art. Yet, we would not have done our jobs if we did not remind you that God is behind all of these successes, and it is God who should receive the glory. As a faculty, we work to help you see the importance of living a life that is rooted in God's saving grace. We did this through the 7 virtues of manhood. You learned these ideas each year you were at PDS, and we taught you God's truths through these principles. As true friends, you helped each other out in tough times. You welcomed new friends to the school, and you were on the lookout for injustices. As humble heroes, you learned that God was bigger than you, and to approach all areas of life with a God-sized vision, which naturally created humility in yourself. Becoming a servant leader was a common cry at PDS. We encouraged you by the statement, "I am third," and we looked for evidence that God was first and others were second in your life. As a pace setter, we asked you to make a difference in the life of someone else. We encourage you to live in truth and to use the Bible as your guidebook for every decision you came across. We invited you to become a bold adventurer. You were challenged to try new things and to step out in faith. From zip lines to new vegetables, collectively, you were willing to be bold. As a faculty, we look for ways to help you become a noble knight. We wanted you to feel a sense of duty and a particular protective nature for the younger students of our school. And finally, we encourage you to be a faithful follower by giving up control to God. This is particularly difficult to do when you're 12. But we shared with you stories of others who had given up control, and you looked for opportunities to do the same. I pray that these 7 virtues will stay with you forever. I can tell you that during my time at PDS, they have changed my life in so many ways. Now, I did promise you a third idea as a takeaway from today's graduation, and here it is. Don't be afraid of hard work. It's a simple statement, and one that I didn't truly learn until later in my life. I should have learned this concept growing up in my formative years in Wisconsin. My parents instilled a strong work ethic in me from a young age. I remember being so excited to cut the lawn for the first time when I was 12. The year prior, my dad bought a brand new self-propelled power mower, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. For years, my dad told me that when I turned 12, I could start mowing the lawn. The day had arrived, and I was ready for my training. We met in the garage, and there it was with a big red bow. An old-fashioned push mower that he had purchased down the street at a garage sale. Boys, some of you may not have an internal picture of what a push mower is, but this thing had several visible blades that turned as you push. It was not cool, and it was certainly not self-propelled. My dad taught me how to operate the mower. To be honest, there wasn't much to it. Push and cut the grass, stop, and nothing happens. Mow the lawn every 5 days, my dad told me, and I set out on the hard work of mowing our rather small lawn. It was now my job to keep the grass neat and tidy. I went at it for several weeks, and then I decided to not mow the lawn quite as often. My dad played it cool, and after a week, he asked me if I was going to cut the lawn. "I'll get to it pretty soon," I said while lounging in my favorite chair. 2 weeks went by, and I was finally ready to mow the lawn. The problem was that as the grass gets higher, it becomes almost impossible to push the mower through the blades of grass. I struggled and struggled to finish the lawn. Halfway through, my dad arrived to finish the job with his snapper mower. He never said a word, but I got the message. I mowed the lawn every few days for the rest of the summer. Boys, don't be afraid of hard work. Even with this experience and many others, I did not learn the power and promise of hard work until I met my best friend, Scotty. Scotty and I became roommates our first year of teaching 30 years ago. We were roommates for 4 years until each of us got married. Those 4 years taught me so much about life and hard work. You see, Scotty grew up in rural Kentucky where he did not have much. His family existed on governmental cheese and bologna, and Christmas toy drives provided his one new toy a year. He was always thankful for the kindness of others, and he learned the value of hard work like I had never known. Not only did Scotty work hard, he was always so thankful, and he gave God the glory for all that he had. That hard work led him to scholarships and opportunities that he never thought would be possible. I watched Scotty as he saw early success in teaching simply by working harder than everyone else. He inspired me to become my best self and experience the joy of hard work. Scotty also pointed me to the Bible. He reminded me of the passage in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. Here we hear Jesus saying, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest in your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." You see, with hard work also comes rest. And Jesus did the incredible hard work of dying on the cross for each and every one of us. His hard work gives us the opportunity to rest in the assurance that he has already done the work for us. He has paid the price of our sins, and we, in turn, must reflect that incredible gift in the hard work we do every day. Hard work can actually point others to Jesus. Boys, don't be afraid of hard work. Striving to glorify God in all we do and working hard to grow in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man is worthy of a life's work. Boys, congratulations. It's been an honor to serve with you. Thank you.
It is a privilege to stand before you today and confirm that the boys of the class of 2020 have met all the academic requirements for the rewarding of PDS diplomas. Boys, the past few months may have felt quite long to you, but I have to say, it seems like yesterday that you were walking bright-eyed into the early childhood building, wearing your red backpacks and waving to Mrs. Todd. Your young minds were developing daily, and your academic foundation became firmly established as you grew in your understanding of mathematics and literacy. Since that time, you have expanded your knowledge from writing simple sentences to well-developed, thoughtful essays. From learning your basic math facts to solving algebraic inequalities. From reading fly guide books to interpreting complex text. In your early years, you debated whether the pigeon should drive the bus, and now you debate whether war is ever justified. You have demonstrated not just mastery of basic knowledge and skills, but you have proven that you can transfer and apply those skills. You have learned to reason, research, investigate, and inquire. You are collaborators, designers, deep thinkers, and risk takers. Boys, you are now ready for your next adventure, 7th grade. You will encounter new learning and be pushed even harder. You are prepared for this next step, for you have developed a strong work ethic, and you are learning to think for yourself. As you leave us for new schools, you should be confident that your thinking skills are adaptable to any school, to any subject, and to any teacher. While it may seem like you are just starting here at PDS, here we are today. You are ready to receive your diploma, denoting the completion of your work at PDS and signifying that you are prepared for the challenges and demands, not just of 7th grade, but for all of the opportunities and adventures that await you in life. Class of 2020, we love you, and we can't wait to see what God has in store for you. As we call the boys forward to receive their diplomas, we ask that you honor the PDS tradition of not clapping or cheering for individual boys, but holding your applause for the entire class to be recognized after they have received their diplomas. Thank you.
Alawatoyan Agabosi.
I'm not sure we've ever come across a boy that simply always seems to be in a good mood. Your kindness and unquestioned politeness makes it nearly impossible for others not to like you. Your skill set and laser-focused determination when you have a soccer ball at your feet is unrivaled. Perhaps one day we will see your last name, or maybe Big T, on the back of a FC Barcelona jersey. Don't ever stop smiling, Toyin.
Harold Michael Alexander.
We will remember how you were always happy and smiling walking through the PDS halls since you were in JK. You're a kind and respectful young man with wonderful manners. You could always be counted on to give your best effort in any endeavor you were involved in, academics, extracurricular activities, and we will never forget your patriotic robe you wore to every Google class meeting during distance learning.
William Clyde Ballard.
We will remember you for your big smile and hard work that you put into everything. You are a great athlete, friend, and big brother to John. You loved goofing off and having a great time, but also know how and when to be serious. Your hard work on basketball showed as you improved over the last couple of years. Keep working hard to achieve your goals. It's your hard work, dedication, and genuineness that will bring you great success in life.
Walker Lewis Billions.
We will always remember your great smile. Some even call you Smiley. Your teachers will remember you as one who always lights up a room. You were respectful and kind to everyone. You and Devin made the perfect team for Caleb, your pre-K buddy. You cared deeply for God's word and for others, always pointing the mentor group back to the key truth of what was being discussed, whether it was basketball, soccer, math, history, or mentor group. You gave it your best.
Mark Gerald Billions, Jr.
We may never again encounter a boy with such an impressive wealth of historical information. Your teachers, coaches, and peers admire you for your diligence, respectfulness, and endless imagination. It's impossible to count the number of people and the number of times your smile has made someone's day brighter. You have a sharp and introspective mind. Never hesitate to share your enlightening perspective with others.
Ramon Cortez Brown II.
We will remember your athletic ability, especially on the basketball court. Your talent to anticipate made you one of the best defenders we have ever seen on a Crusader basketball team. That your ability to respond well to coaching and teaching helped you improve in so many areas during your time at PDS. Your kind and respectful manner endeared you to your teachers and will serve you well in the future.
Caden Gabriel Caldera.
We will remember you as an extremely respectful and hard-working young man. Whether in the classroom, on a court, or on a field, you always knew when to have a laugh and when to focus and lock down on the task at hand. We remember your passion in which you played all sports, and specifically your love for the game of baseball. How you had a quiet, humble spirit, and this will serve you well in life.
Jackson Miller Caldwell.
We will remember you as the definition of a guy who goes with the flow, that you embrace challenges and hardship with a smile and easygoing determination. You are comfortable in your own skin and not afraid to laugh at yourself, and that you're an excellent role model for little people like your pre-K buddy Kepler and your own little sister. We are sad to see you go, but know that you will carry that positivity with you everywhere you go.
George Thomas Calzada.
We will always remember that incredible smile. You had a way of always seeing the bright side of an issue. Others took note, and our mentor group never felt right if you weren't in the mix. I know you are a deep thinker and have been growing in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man. These next years will be so important for you, and I know you have a deep desire to lead a meaningful life. You are ready to spread your wings and soar to new heights.
Kyle Martin Curley in absentia. William Reese Dupree.
We will remember how respectful you are to your teachers and coaches. Mrs. Carruthers loves that even today you always smile and say hello, that you're driven to do your best in everything you do, especially academics and basketball. There's something to be said for a guy who quietly goes about his business and always demands the best from himself. That while you are focused, you know how to have a good time and enjoy your friendships.
Charles McLean Dowdy.
We will remember your smile and sense of humor. You are quick to listen and slow to speak, and this serves you well as you take everything in and always have the most humorous and intelligent response to school and life. Your sixth grade speech showed your passion, knowledge, and enjoyment of hunting, and your thoughtful ability to share your knowledge with others. In mentor group, your friends found out that no one drinks water faster or thinks more deeply and thoughtfully about an issue than you do.
Robert Town Eccles.
We will remember how you broke your arm early in sixth grade, but that didn't take away your smile or your great attitude. We remember well the day that you wore your dad's PDS vintage jacket to second grade. Your teachers say you are wise, disciplined, and mature beyond your years. You set a great example of how to be a great big brother to your sisters and to your pre-K buddy, William. You have a tender heart and treat others with respect.
Brady Earl Earhart.
We will remember that you lived out the 7 virtues daily at PDS, that your kindness and respect towards others made you a favorite with classmates and teachers. You always went above and beyond to help others by lifting their spirits with kind words or helping resolve an issue they had. That you could always be counted on to do your best in whatever you were doing, academics, band, sports, or mentoring.
DeWitt Charles Ezel.
We will remember your imagination, drive to learn new things, and your sophisticated and dry-witted humor that always had your teachers laughing and wishing they could be as clever. That your kind and engaging personality and willingness to look out for others endeared you to everyone at PDS. We will always remember how your gourmet lunches changed from day to day, but your positive attitude never did.
William Trunkston Fortis.
We will remember your funny sense of humor, investigation of fine details, and your willingness to speak up in class or mentor group when no one else would. You are inquisitive, hardworking, and possess infinite grit. You are admired for your willingness to go the extra mile, and you never back down from a challenge. Your speech was the perfect wrap-up of your career at PDS. You're excited to research your family and better define yourself in the process.
Maceo Fox in absentia. Sam Matthew Gower.
We will remember your big and joyful personality. You are so much fun to be around in school, sports, and in mentor groups. You helped make learning enjoyable for everyone around you, teachers, coaches, friends, and mentors. You will forever be Santa Claus to so many of us. You brought this same great joy to Everett, your pre-K buddy. You exhibited honesty, integrity, and a unique way of looking at every situation. Your speech was a great example of how you bring uniqueness to everything you do.
Thomas Maddox Gill.
I will always remember the time you served as headmaster for the day. You had such a great time in the second grade being able to lead PDS. Fast forward several years, and you remain an excellent leader at PDS. Your thoughtful and imaginative answers always impressed me. You are a thinker, but you also get things done. You have helped me many times as I seek out your opinion on things that are going on at school, and I'm certain that you are destined for greatness.
James Andrew Graham.
We will remember you never, ever came to school in a bad mood. You were such a great role model for the younger students because of your kindness, gentle spirit, and your big heart. While you have many gifts and talents, you always know that God gets the credit. And you have a spirit of creativity and a heart for others. Thank you for pointing others to Christ with both your words and deeds. We adults can truly learn from our students. And thank you for helping us grow.
Joshua Lee Graham.
We will never forget your genuine thrill for your brother Will when he won the spelling bee. You are such a kind and dedicated young man who sincerely looks out for the well-being of others over yourself. Never lose that quality. Your academic strength showed in your grasp of world geography and how you always challenged yourself in math. Your talents as a saxophone player and drummer were inspiring to many. You are wise beyond your years with such a sweet, humble spirit.
Charles Bostwick Harris.
We will remember your inquisitive nature and your heart for others. You, my friend, are an old soul. Your maturity and humor are beyond your years. You have a great work ethic and a desire to always do your best. And it's unanimous. After polling several teachers, if one of them had to leave the room and put someone in charge, it would be you. Continue being a leader wherever God leads you.
Jacob Jonathan Hill.
There was never a shortage of spectacular plays when Jay Hill was on the floor. We will always remember your never quit attitude and the incredible passion in which you played the game of basketball. You continue to mature and grow year after year in so many different ways. You are a kind, respectful, and a true gentleman, and one heck of a sax player too. And I will be grateful for you teaching me how to do the whoa.
Bennett Kiernan Johnston.
We remember how you have been connected to PDS since you were an infant, as Mrs. Diaz got to practice her baby rocking skills on you because her best friend was her neighbor. You are such an extremely kind young man. You always put tremendous effort into everything, especially in band. Your strong work ethic in playing the trombone made you a trusted member of the Crusader Band. We will never forget your ability to quote extended dialogue from Star Wars for your classmates in Bible class to show how that movie had similar themes when compared to the Bible.
David Jeremiah Jones.
We will remember your kindness and your incredible smile that will be with us forever. Thanks for always being willing to help a friend out and lift someone up when they're feeling down. The world needs more people like you. The fact that your word is your bond and that you're able to put yourself in others' shoes and see the world as they do will make you a great leader, and we will miss you.
Wallace Lloyd Keeler.
Everyone at PDS will miss your Maker Faire projects, especially your dad's show and tell of awesome knives, hatchets, and other things. There are many things that people like about you, including your love for the Auburn Tigers. Your ability to work through frustrations will serve you well in the future. Continue working hard, and you will see great progress in your life, just like you did in your ability to play the trumpet. We will miss you and miss seeing your latest trophy fish.
Dallas Reed Karras in absentia. Stevens Treadwell Kaiser.
You are a kind-hearted and nice person, which makes you so likable to be around. Your hard work and good attitude will serve you well in the future and has definitely been noticed by the coaches and teachers at PDS. As a pre-K buddy, you've been an outstanding friend to Delton, just like you've been to the guys in your class. As you leave here, we will remember how you not only met, but overcame adversity with boldness, and we know that has helped make you the outstanding young man that you are today.
Michael Christopher Arthur Langston.
We will remember your undeniable effort and outstanding attitude, and that separates you from the pack as a gritty and noble gentleman. The love and devotion you display for your brother, David, is profoundly inspirational. Your predisposition for always putting forth your best effort in the classroom, on the hardwood, and while running has earned you the admiration of us all. You have the gift of determination.
Nicholas Chandler Lee.
We will always remember how you shared your epic postcards from your vacations for the Flying Pig Circle the Globe board. You're known for your good manners and kind spirit. We will never forget your love for Liverpool soccer, that you were beloved by your classmates as well, especially in math. Your strong work ethic was consistently put on display day in and day out here at PDS as you excelled in the classroom and on the soccer field.
Reed Hardin LeMay.
How can we forget the amazing trek you took over the pond and all the stories you came back with? Although we were sad to see you leave us for a year, it was that journey that helped make you the young man you are today. As a good athlete, you did well in the basketball court, soccer field, and tennis court. Well, we assume you would have done well at tennis. We will miss you and look forward to hearing all you do in the future.
Walter Lewis Liebenow IV.
We will remember you as the ultimate selfless teammate. Your courteous and friendly nature shines through before, during, and after the heat of competition. Yet you still possess a healthy hunger to win. When it comes to what really matters, you're known for a respectful demeanor, for being cheerful, compassionate, loyal, and possessing a smile that always puts others at ease.
George Campbell Luton in absentia. Williams Collins Marshall in absentia. Kevin Christopher McCullers in absentia. William Morris McDonald III.
We will always remember when you and Will Taylor were in pre-K, and knew so much about Ole Miss football. You always showed leadership qualities each year at PDS. With your kindness, politeness, and courage to love others, we will never forget your insightful comments to any class discussion or your curiosity and interest about musical instruments. You are an amazing combination of intelligence and kindness.
Ryan Patrick McKay, Jr.
We will remember your wonderful smile and positive attitude. When faced with difficult tasks or mistakes, you showed resilience, good humor, and a willingness to keep trying. Teachers, coaches, and mentors love to have you as part of their classes and teams. During virtual meetings, you were always ready, with camera on, smiling and participating, even while helping your brother get breakfast. Your teachers are grateful for you because of your hard work and willingness to learn.
Reed Michael McNett.
We will remember your kind spirit and infectious smile, that you were always conscientious on doing your best, that your creativity and resourcefulness were always on display. Your size and athletic ability make you a force on the football and baseball fields. And while you are so talented in those sports, you always stay humble and kind to teammates and opponents.
Davin Ari McNeil.
We will remember that your quiet leadership sets you apart, that you lead by word and deed and do so with great humility. Thank you for leading well. Keep leading. That your kind heart and easygoing attitude is what attracted others to want to be your friend. That no one followed the rules of the class better than you. That your creativity, persistence, and ability to handle feedback make you an excellent writer.
Tucker Morrell Melker.
We will always remember your epic win in the first ever PDS Derby Days. You built your car with determination, a scientific mindset, and a desire to win. It was impossible to miss. Although you've only been with us for 1 year, we have seen amazing growth in this short time. You've built a few important friendships, and these boys will be your wingmen through the next years of life. You shared your passion for robotics and animals with many at PDS. You have the ability to do great things, and we will be watching.
Williams Maddock Michael.
We will remember your positive outlook, that you always worked hard and were eager to help anyone who needed a hand. You are a great example of what it means to be a servant leader, whether in the soccer field, robotics, Crusader Cafe, or the classroom. You are the ultimate team player. Mrs. Ramsey remembers your smile and kindness, but her favorite memory is carrying you around the building after you broke your leg in first grade.
Henry Edward Moak.
We will remember you as one of the founding fathers of the PDS's Boys Fight for Freedom from the Piccadilly Lunch Program. Your persuasive political skills are nearly on par with your abundance of athletic skills on the gridiron, the hardwood, and the diamond. Your personable demeanor and your disciplined enthusiasm for life have distinguished you as a uniquely well-rounded young man. Capitalize on the gift of leadership you possess to accomplish truly great things in life.
Gray Ferris Nevels.
When you look up the definition of coachable, there should be a picture of Gray. When you have a multi-talented individual who consistently displays attributes such as self-motivation, respectfulness, and humility with top-notch toughness, you have a winner. Opposing defenses across the city are still scarred by how many times you and Bryce connected for a touchdown against them in fifth grade Crusaders football.
John Randolph Norfleet, Jr.
We will remember the great level of empathy that you have always shown for others, that you are always smiling, always polite. Well, except for the time you beat Coach Fruitt in ping pong. You are one of the hardest working boys we have met, And that hard work really paid off in 5th grade with the development of your exceptional writing and note-taking abilities. We are not sure, but you may hold the record for buzzer-beater game-winning shots in intramural basketball.
William Warren Nunn.
We will remember that you always made it to school on time, at least when it was Chick-fil-A day. We always remember that navy and orange sweatshirt that you wore every day. And Coach Albertine says, those are the fake Tigers, and he will gladly get you a real Tigers hoodie. You are a strong athlete, a great teammate, and an even better friend. We will always remember that great smile and your love for the outdoors.
Adel Ramiz Omer.
We will remember your hard work, determination, and creativity, that you were a valued member of the LEGO robotics team, and you could always be counted on to hold down the beat for the Crusaders band, that you always thoughtfully engaged your teachers and classmates during discussions and asked some of the more challenging questions the teachers will face, that you are blessed with a wonderful sense of family.
Alton Field Owen III.
You may be a twin, but you are one of a kind. Your love for other people and zest for life is contagious. Throughout your time at PDS, you have had such a fun personality and were always looking out for others. You treat others with such kindness and compassion. You are a joy to have in class and a solid elf when caroling. You will always be remembered for your strong work ethic and great attitude. And you have the ability to lead others through not only your words, but also your actions.
Kit Sanford Mays Owen.
We will remember that you are always being thankful and that you let people know how much you appreciate them. You always use the phrase, "Thank you for teaching me today," to your teachers. You have never been too cool to care. Your genuine concern for others was always on display, even on the field or courts, as you always helped your opponent up. Your mental toughness and ability to persevere will serve you well in the future. Mrs. Diaz will never forget you as the best elf act as you and your family sang Christmas carols on her doorstep.
Wilson Branscombe Pace.
We will remember your dedication to the Pig Gazette. Your first grade goal became a reality through hard work, determination, and salesmanship. The entire school benefited from your dream to start a school newspaper. Mr. Boyd was impressed with your ability to get outside your comfort zone in cross country. And I have never seen anyone as red as you at the end of a cross country practice. I will always remember your kind spirit, impeccable manners, and snappy dressing.
Boyd Leland Rhodes II.
It has been a joy to watch you grow physically, but even more so into a godly man who has a beautiful intensity in the way you approach life and your thoughtfulness and genuine care for others, including your pre-K buddy, George. We cannot wait to see you on ESPN someday giving us sports statistics and news. But until then, we will miss your daily sports updates. You will be remembered for your love of reading historical fiction, as well as being a great writer and an outstanding baritone player.
Matthew Thompson Sanger.
We will remember you as an extremely well-rounded young man with an awesome sense of humor. You have the unique ability to know how and when to joke with teachers and coaches without crossing that line. You are hardworking and always put forth great effort. You have a great spirit, and your love of family and friends is evident at all times. As a man of many talents, your versatility will undoubtedly serve you well in the future.
Stephen Whittington Sansom.
We will remember that you were always respectful and always polite, that your witty sense of humor made your friends laugh, how the Crusader football team could always gain the yards needed running behind you. You led with quiet authority and gained the trust of your classmates in the process. We will miss your great travel stories and the funny stories you told about your brother. Alex sure is going to miss seeing his big brother in the hallways next school year.
Carter Nathaniel Sell.
We will remember your incredible athletic ability and your love for all sports, that you're a coach's dream, coachable, humble, hardworking, and skilled, that you are an effortlessly funny guy who has the ability to make everyone feel at ease. The same tenacity you demonstrated on the athletic fields and courts we saw with your academics. Your teachers will always remember you never gave less than your best.
Robert Dudley Speak.
You so often have an interesting perspective, thus sparking great classroom and mentor group discussions. We love your kind spirit and sweet greetings each morning. Your friends say being your friend is such a pleasure, and your pre-K buddy Charlie would always be sad after you left. Knowing your quiet yet fierce competitive spirit, we were excited to watch you play tennis this spring. We will remember your polite manners and respect for your teachers and coaches.
William Scott Stafford, Jr.
We will remember how much you have grown as a person and a student in 6th grade. Your love of baseball provided many great stories about the teams you were able to play with. In fact, you were never short on words and loved sharing in mentor group. Your grit and determination were on display in 5th grade, and your hard work paid great dividends this, your final year at PDS. Who doesn't love Scotty Stafford? Your pre-K buddy, Parks, thinks you are the most amazing buddy ever, and he's not alone.
William David Stinson IV.
Oftentimes, actions speak louder than words, and with you, that certainly is the case. As a man of few words, you carry yourself with a quiet confidence, never afraid to share your knowledge or ask questions. You were an awesome 6th grade buddy to George, always making him feel so special during your time together. You have the ability to make others laugh in how you deliver stories from your personal life experiences. You were extremely dedicated to mentor groups during quarantine, and Coach McLean loved how we could always count on you.
Robert Wilson Taylor in absentia. William Fletcher Taylor.
You were one of the most amazing readers we have ever seen at PDS. We've been told that you would even read an instruction manual, and we believe it. We have loved seeing your passion for reading. Your energy and curiosity made classes, mentor groups, and band lessons more fun. You are confident in who you are and not afraid of being yourself. We will miss your inquisitive spirit, but look forward to where it leads you in the future.
Joseph Bryce Terry.
We haven't met many boys walk our halls who possess the ability to sense with a humble heart when it's necessary to lead and when it's necessary to serve. We will remember the 5th grade Crusader football record books may remain forever shredded due to your passing prowess and leadership under center. When you combine ingredients such as sincere kindness with poise and tenacity, the possibilities for you to make an impact in life are limitless.
Cannon Davis Thacker.
We remember your absolute joy and spark that you always brought into the classroom and hallowed halls of PDS. That your great sense of humor always had us laughing. We loved your stories about your pet pig. That you're always so conscientious in making sure you understood the concepts being taught. It is your love for life and determination that will make you a great leader one day.
Henry Rice Turner.
We will remember you as always full of energy, that you have exuberance for life that is contagious, that you have only begun to scratch the surface of your athletic ability. We can't wait to see where that ability takes you in the future. We will remember the great strides you made in 5th grade with your level of persistence and being a strong finisher that carried over to your 6th grade year. Thanks for being a great PK buddy to Harvey. Your quiet, humble spirit made him feel loved and special.
Soham Gunput Valalaker.
We will always remember how you always carried a smile on your face, how you embodied what it means to be a true friend, always looking to the interest of others. Your energy for learning is contagious, and you have a positive spirit. Whether in the classroom, mentor groups, robotics, or band, your dedication to school and love for soccer is truly inspiring. Your pre-K buddy wants to be just like you when he's in 6th grade.
Soham Chander Verma.
We will remember you as always being so polite and cheerful. You never came to school in a bad mood, that you are an amazing, critical, and creative thinker who is always great to collaborate with because of your ability to generate great ideas. That you were a dedicated member of the Crusader Band and the robotics team, where your energy for learning was contagious. We are all going to miss hearing about your travels.
Joseph Edward Weiss.
We will remember you as a polite, caring, and positive person, which really shone through with your pre-K buddy, Grayson. You always made him feel special and brought out his personality. He was always so sad to see you go. That no matter what class you were in, reading, seminar, math, your discussions and questions always showed your intelligence and your ability to think deeply. We will definitely miss your bright smile and witty, sophisticated sense of humor that made you a friend to many.
Devin Christopher Wells.
We will remember your first intramural touchdown to win the game at the buzzer and had both teams cheering for you. We remember how you always wanted everyone to play together on the playground in SK. Remember how you would stop by your former teacher's room just to say hi. You came to class, practice, and games prepared. You led by example as you demonstrated a strong work ethic and showed persistence in finishing challenging tasks. You will be remembered by your kind heart and humble spirit.
James Henry West.
We will remember your clever sense of humor, dry wit, and conversations with adults. In fact, Mrs. Diaz shared stories about your famous grandmother and hopes to meet her still someday. You rose to the challenge of online 6th grade and even encouraged others in your mentor group, saying, "It's not so bad." I will miss your insightful comments and the ability to stick up for what you believe in. Please never lose that quality as you progress through school and life.
Noah David Winstead.
We will remember not to challenge you in a cross-country race or in your knowledge of God's Word. We will certainly remember your curiosity for everything and your absolute love of learning, that the energy you bring to all you do is contagious. In mentor groups, you could always be counted on to go deeper and always make us think. Your pre-K buddy, William, will miss you. You were so kind to him and always made him feel special.
Paul Alexander Wunderlich in absentia. Michael Davis Yonker.
We will remember the kindness you showed to others. Your 1st grade teacher remembers how you greeted her each day by name and with a genuine interest in, "How are you doing?" Many echo that sentiment. You arrived at school energized and ready to go. Always the first to share a mentor group, you were at home curled up in my leather chair. You have many gifts that are being discovered now, from your ability to make music through the ability to make others laugh. You, my friend, are a special talent.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in applauding the 2020 class of PDS. Okay, as Devin McNeil makes his way to the stage for the closing prayer, please remember we will dismiss by rows to maintain proper distance. After the benediction, I will come back to the mic to dismiss us.
Please stand and bow your heads for the PDS closing prayer. Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in his sight. O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Amen.
Let me say a word of thanks to you, parents and grandparents, for trusting us with your boys. A word of thanks to these faculty and staff for your servant leadership. A word of thanks to the board for your sacrificial leadership. And a word of deep gratitude to the best headmaster team, Steve and Stephanie, I've ever worked with. And congratulations to you, young men. Let me ask you to do justice and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God and receive this benediction. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord turn his countenance toward you and give you his peace. Amen.
All right, boys, you can have a seat. Remember, boys, when I call your parents' row, you may also leave, and your exit, boys, there's an exit over there and an exit right over there where Coach Spain is. Let's give Coach Spain a big hand for being on a mic this year. All right, row 3 and 1, you are dismissed. Row 3 and 1, you're dismissed. Row 4.